So here it is, F1 2014 career mode, and we're going to be racing against McLaren, the team you guys voted for, and we're going to be racing alongside Jenson Button in this 19 race season to get as many points as possible. However, before we get into this race, I've got one thing to talk about, and that is I've got a copy of F1 2014 to give away to one of you guys. Basically, all you need to do is be subscribed to my channel and leave a comment in this video who your favourite driver in F1 currently is. And also, if this video hits 2,000 likes, give away 2 extra copies of the game to you guys. So all you need to do, like the video and then leave your comment about your favourite driver and you might be able to win F1 2014. It's as simple as that. But anyway, let's move on to the first race weekend in Australia, Albert Park, Melbourne, for the first round of this 19 race season. A lot of fun is going to be taking place in this series, guys, and I really do hope you enjoy it. And also, I've got to tell you about the assists and everything I'm using, just because I'm sure lots of people will be asking. Basically, I'm using all assists off, except from traction control, which is currently on medium, which I will be turning off at some point. And also, I'm using my G27 wheel on PC. It's the first time I've ever used a wheel, so I've definitely got to get used to it, but it has been a lot of fun so far. But now, let's move on to the first qualifying lap of the season here in qualifying 1, and we've got about 4 minutes left on the clock to set this time, so we've got a decent couple of laps there to actually get a lap time in, but going slightly wide at turn 1 there, not the best. Could have got that apex a little bit better, but DRS activated, and we've got to beat the time of Maldonado through this first sector of 30.330, and if we can do that, we've got a decent chance of getting through to Q2, as times won't be changing as much during the end of this session as they would in real life. So here we are, we've got about 5 seconds until we find out whether we have beaten Maldonado in sector 1 here. Have we across it? Yes, we have 4 tenths of a second. We are up over Maldonado here, and 2 tenths over our fastest time already, so we're gaining time through sector 1, which is very good. But we've got a slow car here in the middle of the track. Who is it? I think it's Bottas. Yes, it is Bottas parking his car on the apex, meaning we have to go the long way around. That's easily cost us 2, 3, 4 tenths of a second there, which could be very, very costly going into this lap. And have we lost? Yeah, we lost a bit of time over Maldonado. It's down to 3 tenths advantage, but obviously 10 seconds advantage over our fastest time, as we made a mistake and basically just getting out of people's way. And yet another car that's just going around really slowly. It's Adrian Suttle this time. We go running outside of him, but he goes and nearly blocks us. I don't know what he was doing there, but Suttle a little bit all over the place. And now going into the penultimate turn, we get that done pretty nicely there. Running a little bit wide over the curb means we couldn't get down the traction as easily as we wanted. And now up to the start finish line here. DRS is activated. What time are we going to do? It's obviously going to be our 2-minute time. It's a 1 minute 30.022, and it gets us into qualifying 2, which is good. And it puts us in 14th place. Maldonado and Gutierrez are 2 big names that are knocked out in Q1 there, which is unfortunate for them, along with both Caterhams and both Marusha. So it's unfortunate for them. But now we move on to qualifying 2, and we set a lap time here of 1:29.885. So that's actually faster than our time in Q1, but we actually go last, not 14th, which we were in Q1. So got to really pull it all out here on our fastest lap. DRS is activated. Kimi Räikkönen pulls over to our right hand side, doesn't disturb our lap, which is very nice. Slightly missed the apex there, but it's really kind of weird with this McLaren. It's sort of, sometimes it's really nice to drive, sometimes it's a little bit all over the place, sometimes it can traction on certain corners, and sometimes it's just all over the place. So it's a bit of a hit and miss car, but we go through the first sector, half a second down over Bottas, which is unfortunate. But in all honesty, we're probably not going to get into Q3, so really the time we need to be looking at here is my time, and we're still 2 tenths down on my fastest, so we've got to really make it up in the second sector here. And we've had a pretty good run through there, a little bit of track extending, but nothing that bad. But overall, we're going through this middle sector a little bit better than we have done in the past. But is it going to show in our time? Yes, it actually has. We've closed the gap down to our fastest to less than a tenth of a second here, so we've got to really pull out in this final sector. We might be able to get into the top 10, however it is unlikely. More likely is to get us a little bit more positions up the grid, maybe 14th, 13th, 12th, something like that would be better. And really, we want to try and out-qualify Button if we can, but it won't be too big. But now, the penultimate turn, we completely messed it up, running wide once again. Now the final turn, and DRS straight after it. Are we going to get a better lap time? It felt like a pretty decent last sector, except from that penultimate turn. So let's see what we get across the start finish line. We improve up to P14 with that 1 1:29.492. Unfortunately, we don't get through. We're actually quite a way off getting through there. 1.6 seconds off Bottas and just over 1.6 seconds away from my teammate Button. So a little bit unfortunate to be so far away from Button, but 14th is quite a good base to start this first race on, and let's just hope we can get a decent result here for McLaren. It doesn't really even need to be points, but as long as we finish the race and they're happy, I'm happy, because it pretty much just means that I've got this ride for the rest of the season and I don't get sort of pushed off to another team halfway through the season. But let's see what we can do in this first race of the season here in Australia. Nico Rosberg has got the pole position over his teammate Lewis Hamilton, and we are in 14th as Jenson Button is in 9th, so he's already in a points position. If he finishes where he starts, he's already got points, but we've got to make up some ground on this first lap. We've got both Toro Rossos and the Force India in visible view here, and 4 lights are on, 5 lights are on, and lights are out, and away we go here in Australia for the first race of F1 2014 career mode. We get a pretty decent start here. The second phase of the start is definitely a lot better, and now going down to turn 1, we're a bit optimistic into turn 1, a slight bit of contact with our teammate Jenson Button there, and we managed to get through a couple of cars there up to P10, and now right in the slipstream of Valtteri Bottas, and now pulling it into the standard fuel mix. So we're going to go for the outbraking manoeuvre where we were, but Bottas brakes extremely late round the outside as well. I'm in a Force India sandwich, and now in a Williams and Force India sandwich, but Bottas backs out on the inside. We managed to get past Hulkenberg as well, and somehow all of those shenanigans in the first couple of turns, we are up to P8. A really great start there for us in the McLaren. That'll be 4 very good points if we could finish here, but overall a nice start, and now we've got to just work on it and maybe even get past Raikkonen, as he really isn't keeping up with the cars in front. And we are pretty much in distance. Have a look. No, we're not looking down the inside. That would be quite risky. We don't want to be causing an accident in our first race, but we also just don't want to give them positions. We want to be getting as many positions as possible and showing we are deserving of this McLaren seat. Now we're right in the slipstream of Raikkonen here, but he's so fast through his quick left-right sort of part of the track, and I can't believe how much speed that Ferrari can take through it. And also Hulkenberg has got right up behind us here, and hopefully he won't be in the slipstream going onto the main straight, but he's looking very close. Obviously he won't have DRS on this first lap, but he will be in the slipstream. He has that Mercedes engine as well in that Force India, and also the Force India is a very slippery car which is fast in a straight line, so who knows. I think the Force India can be very good in a straight line here, especially with the slipstream from us as well. And even though he might be not using fast fuel mix, he might be able to get the move done here. Hulkenberg right in our slipstream here. We're sort of going to the middle of the track, then we're sort of fading back to the left here. I'm not sure whether that's technically legal in the FIA rules of Formula 1, but we defend the position. Hulkenberg has actually lost the position to Bottas as well there. So we're still in 8th place here. We're slightly losing Raikkonen. However, we do get the DRS on lap 5 here, which you can see the gap to 1.3 seconds. So we lose time through the last couple of corners, but obviously the DRS zone is way before the last couple of corners, I should say. And now DRS once again of Kimi Raikkonen. We have a good turn 1, which means we're a lot close to him, but we're just not close enough to get that overtake done. On lap 6, we're still in 8th position, and really we're sort of thinking that this might be one of our sort of finishing positions here. I mean, we can visibly see 6th place here, but apart from that, the top 5 are just way off into the distance. So it's going to be hard to get past these guys, because obviously they're in fast cars. The Ferrari and the Williams both faster in this game, but we probably can still challenge them. We've got the Force India behind us, which is a very similar car to the McLaren in this game. They're very similar paced, and this is actually our pit stop lap, but I don't think we go for our pit stop on this lap. We do something risky and go a couple of extra laps on these tyres just to try and get sort of the overcut in a way, because I was trying to be very sort of cautious on my tyres. I wasn't trying to wear them out and just go as fast as possible. I was trying to keep up with Raikkonen, but also try and save my tyres a little bit. You can see they're quite worn down on the right hand side of your screen, but I think they're in good enough condition to do a couple of extra laps here, and I was going to risk it because I know I'm slower on those prime tyres. I think it's the medium tyres in Australia, the white sidewall tyres, could be wrong, but I'm really not good on the white sidewall tyres or the orange sidewall tyres, the hard and the medium. I'm not very good on those tyres in this game. I'm just quite slow in comparison to the AI, so I'm just trying to make a couple of extra laps on these tyres and just hope that they work towards the end of this race. So at the end of lap 7, we're coming into the pit lane here, and we obviously made up a couple of positions through people pitting, but cars in front pitting. We got Hulkenberg right up behind us here. He's not leaving an inch, and we're going to come into the pit stall here and see what sort of time we get. We're going to have got a bit of grass on our tyres, probably went off for one of the last turns there, but a 3.7 second stop isn't too bad. Force India car of Hulkenberg comes out right behind us. A lot of cars coming past as well, obviously, that have already pitted and were in front, like Hamilton, etc. And Raikkonen actually leading this race now. He hasn't stopped yet, so Raikkonen leading this race, but he will be coming into the pits at the end of this lap. They're going through turn 1 and turn 2. We've, I think, got a good enough gap over Hulkenberg that he doesn't get DRS, but it doesn't really matter too much because we come towards the end of the lap here on lap 9 now, and we've got Bottas coming out the pits pretty much side by side with us, going down into turn 1. Bottas goes through turn 1. There's a little bit of contact with me in the McLaren. Now we're going to try and run side by side. That's not going to work though. Bottas goes in front. We get into the slipstream, pull down to the inside now. Can we get the move? Yes, we're very, very late on the brakes. Shifted down to second as well to make sure we get off the corner as quickly as possible. Raikkonen has jumped us in, or not jumped us, but he's got back in front of us in the pit stops. So there we are. Crazy stuff there. Getting around Bottas as soon as he came out of the pits. We had to do it because I knew that he's going to be faster on the tyres, especially as he's in a faster car in the first place. So good stuff there to get around Bottas and make sure that we kept that position. But let's skip ahead to lap 12 here, and we've got Bottas and Hulkenberg right up behind us, and Button actually not too far behind him. But Raikkonen just flying off into the distance. He is so much faster on these prime tyres. We've got Bottas looking to our inside here. He's got the move, he's got the overlap, but he brakes early into turn 1, doesn't get the move done, and Hulkenberg, I think, actually gets around the outside of him here. So Hulkenberg's made a position up, and now we've got to go on the defence of him. Hulkenberg looking to our outside. Hulkenberg going to go for the move down the outside. He brakes a little bit earlier, however, and we managed to get back to position. Back to P8. We just want to defend this position now and get to the end of this race in P8. That's 4 solid points for McLaren, and outscoring and outracing Jenson Button would be a big thing here. Now Hulkenberg's the one going on the attack. He's looking down the inside into turn 1. We keep to our racing line, but Hulkenberg brakes very early into turn 1. And I think Bottas might even manage to get around the outside of him. They're very, very close into turn 1. Hulkenberg actually keeps that position in the end, but Bottas and Button right up behind him. And now we skip ahead to the penultimate lap here, and we run wide and all over the grass here, and this means that Hulkenberg, Button and Bottas all up behind me here. I'm slipping and sliding all over the place with the grass on my tyres. I don't have the DRS. I'm just losing lap time all over the place here, and we now lost 12 seconds to Raikkonen in this stint. I think you can see that I'm just not so good on these prime tyres, and I just couldn't keep up at the end of the day. Hulkenberg and Bottas, I think, right behind us now. It's Bottas and Button right behind us now. Hulkenberg looks to have made a mistake at turn 1, and now Bottas is the guy right up behind me, challenging me for the position, but it's on a weird part of the track. It's not a straight, can't really overtake there, but we sort of take out the bollard for the first time in the race on the last lap. That could have been costly. It could have took a bit of our front wing, but luckily it didn't. On this last lap, we lost over 13 seconds now to Raikkonen. Very slow. Rosberg goes and wins the first race of the season. But we've got Bottas and Button and also Hulkenberg in very, very close company here. We can't make a mistake in these final 2 turns here, and we take it very slowly through here in second gear, a little bit sideways, a little bit of grass on our tyres, but we managed to keep the position here. Unless Bottas has a beastly run through this final turn, which he doesn't, that means we've got 8th place in our first race on F1 2014 career mode, and so happy with that, beating our teammate. Yeah, a little bit of a train behind us at the end, but overall I think we did a good job racing the AI, and we probably were a little bit slower than them at the end of the day, but overall it was a lot of fun. Let's see the lap times here. We did a 1:30.2 as our fastest lap. My teammate Button did a 1:30.0 as his fastest lap, so I think the AI and me are pretty well matched here. I think this could be a really good season. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and yeah, a lot of fun, guys. Hopefully you remember to like the video and obviously give your comments about who your favourite driver is to make sure you can have a chance of winning F1 2014 for the PC. And obviously when this video hits 2,000 likes, I'll give away those 2 extra copies of the game. Some extra guys in the comment section. I'll announce the winner of the first copy in a couple of weeks time, but yeah, probably be over my Twitter page, so be sure to go and follow that as well. So yeah, there we are, 8th place in the championship. Pretty good stuff. Ricciardo and Vettel actually making up the next 2 steps on the podium after Rosberg there. So good stuff, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed, and McLaren are happy, which is good at the end of the day. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe, like the video, and leave your comments down below. And yeah, it's been Axe, and I'm out of here. Goodbye.